Champions again, Liverpool.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world, and welcome to our match reaction show for Liverpool's 2-1 win over Sheffield United. Yes, it was 2-1. I was very close to getting it right. I did say 2-0, but some controversial things happened that managed Sheffield United to get that one goal, but we will talk about a few things that happened in today's game anyway. But as you can see, I am joined by a very special guest, and that is Mickey Friars. Mickey, how you doing, mate?
No, brilliant after the 3 points today. Much happier. Great day all round, really. The scores went for us all day.
Yeah, definitely. West Ham drawing 1-1 with Man City, and then, of course, the Chelsea and United game, which I thought was an absolute snooze fest, even though I did think it would be one of the games of the season, and it just wasn't for some reason. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts anyway on the score anyway for Liverpool anyway, not anyone else. Even though, to be fair, like Mickey said, it was a very good day for Liverpool in that respect anyway. And let us know as well your man of the match. There was a couple of people on Twitter that were having a debate that I put out a tweet, who was Liverpool's man of the match, and a couple of people have said a very range of players, so guys, let me know in the comment section down below anyway. But Chris is in saying huge 3 points against VAR. This is yet another statement of the champions, a real battle today versus Sheffield United. Now let's hope this is the start of a winning run up at the Reds. Yeah, absolutely. Downton's in as well, saying that game was harder than I thought it would be, to be honest. Yeah, I think a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people thought it would be a tough game, but not as as tough as it was, because I think all of us had said, building up to the game, that Sheffield wasn't what they were last season in many respects. Mickey, was you thinking that as well? Coming into the game, did you think that Sheffield were a bit weaker from last season because, of course, maybe a football hangover from the success that they did have last season, or did you think that they would be a good team coming into the match?
To be honest, you don't become a bad team overnight. I think they've been unlucky so far this year. They've not hit the heights they have of last year, but they didn't really end the season well, did they? So it sort of carried on. I mean, I knew they'd be tough to break down. I mean, last season we proper played them off the park, probably the best we played for a long. We were right on form when we played them. When we only scored 3 goals, so they are pretty tough to score goals against. And today they did put 10 men behind the ball.
Yeah, well, it was one of these things when after they got that very controversial thing that we will talk about in a brief moment. But to be fair to them, they did exactly what I think many teams would have done, especially when they went 1-0 up, was park the bus and literally put everyone behind the ball. But we won't keep on saying that controversial thing. Of course, the controversial thing we're talking about is something that happened very early on in the game, and that was a tackle by Fabinho that I think it was Ollie McBurney for them, for Sheffield United. It looked like a fair challenge, but then Mike Dean gave a free kick for it. Liverpool, were preparing for a free kick, and then all of a sudden, that beautiful enemy that is called VAR decided to go, oh, it's a penalty, and give Sheffield United a penalty, and they scored from it. And Mickey, I was fuming when VAR decided to give the penalty, and then of course when the goal went in. Was you the same? Was you enraged by it?
Well, it was a dubious foul anyway, wasn't it? To me, he got the ball, but you can see why the ref probably could give it, but the ref give it as a free kick. I have watched it, looked at it, got the photograph on my phone. I don't understand how that's in the box. Now, it weren't even on the line, which is what they're saying. If even it's on the line, it's a penalty. I don't understand how come the whole ball has to cross the line to be a goal. Surely things have to be in the box to be a penalty. I don't get it. And I think if the ref had gone over and looked at the monitor, I think he'd have stood with his original decision that it was a free kick. And VAR is not meant to correct referees. It's meant to basically help the referee. And if they couldn't see where the referee made a mistake, which they couldn't do, that it's clutching its straws. I really do think it's an agenda against Liverpool. Last week with a goal, today that was a joke. I think it's making me think: do I really want to watch football anymore if they're giving things like that? And today I watched Man United Ballfest, and I seen Harry Maguire manhandle someone to the floor, literally gripping him, and VAR didn't even look at it. What's going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
It's a joke because I think at the end of the day, VAR was designed, or in everyone's mind was designed, like you said, to help the referees. And at the end of the day, it's not helping. It's not helping football. It's making more of a talking point than the actual football itself. And if you guys, if I can quickly get it up on the screen for you guys, that is what we are currently talking about. That is what this was the tackle practically, and as you can see, McBurney's foot is on the line, and according to VAR, if his foot is on the line, then it is redeemed as a penalty as well. So. But at the end of the day, it's like Mickey said. We can see why maybe the referee thought it was a free kick, but then the VAR should then correct the referee because it was a tackle. It was a fair tackle. Fabinho got the ball and he got the whole of the ball. It wasn't like if it was half ball, half man. It was completely ball. And then McBurney fell over. When Fabinho tackled. So for me, I don't think it's a foul. To begin with, and I agree with you. I think there is some sort of agenda against Liverpool because everyone will have the laugh at Liverpool and things like this last season, but this is 2 games in a row now where VAR has been terrible, and it's like you compare that to midweek, in the Champions League where if probably the same thing had happened in the Champions League, it would have been a lot dealt with a lot better. And that, so why can't the Premier League adapt to European VAR? Because I think the VAR in the Champions League and the Europa League, it's far better than it is in the Premier League and even the Bundesliga and even Ligue 1, like the French league. That is even better than the Premier League. And I just don't get why this version of VAR is causing so much controversy, where we can see in other countries it's working perfectly and working to help the teams and help the referees. And I know we were saying off air, Mickey, there's no surprise, and I think Doug says it quite a lot as well. This is why English referees don't go to World Cups, they don't go to European competitions, is because people see that in the Premier League and think, it's awful refereeing. Do you think that something needs to change drastically? Not only with VAR, but with refereeing as well in this country.
Okay, so don't get me wrong, VAR can be a good thing, yeah. But when the poor referees that we have in this country, and we have the worst referees in the whole of Europe, not many of them get invited to do Champions League games, and when they do, they're always slagged off by the teams because they're saying they're not good enough. The people in the VAR room are the same shocking refs that are refereeing games for the last 3 or 4 years. It's the people in the room. They need to look at getting people in from abroad, people that know what they're doing. The offside rule needs looking at massively. What happened? I think they changed the offside rule a few years before VAR to say that if they're just off or just level, it would be to the attacker's advantage. You ain't telling me an attacker's got an advantage with a toe that much over, or an elbow that much over, or an armpit that much over. Sorry, to me, it should be the foot, the feet. It's football. It's not head ball, but it's football. If the feet are level, if they're that much over, it doesn't matter. If they're level, it's onside. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's probably best then to go back to, is it a daylight rule? I think that's been used before, where it's clear and obvious that it's offside, and we don't have to fuss ass around with these lines situations.
Well, have you seen the lines? They bend.
Yeah.
They don't. They're not straight.
No, yeah. Remember the one at Villa last season? It got proved that it wasn't a 90-degree angle. It was like 95 or 96, and and the Premier League tried to back it up, but it was like, you can't do that, Premier League. Like you're literally going against your evidence by you, and it stayed the same though. But I would agree. I think daylight in terms of attack, it needs to be brought back, because if a player is 1 millimeter offside, I'm sorry, that's not an advantage in my personal opinion. Like it's so stupid, and I think a lot of people can agree on that anyway. But before we move away, from the VAR situation, this was a tweet that was circling around anyway during the game. Anyway, and that was clarification from the Premier League on the Sheffield United penalty situation. So Sheffield United's penalty that was awarded, VAR only ruled whether the incident was inside or outside the box, not whether or not the foul took place or not. So practically, they looked to see whether or not it was in the box. But apart from that, they didn't really care when it came to whether or not it was a foul or not, which is another rule that needs to be fixed with VAR and just refereeing in that respect anyway. But guys, let us know your thoughts anyway in the comment section down below. Chris says Joe Gomez 10 out of 10, my man of the match. Downton Abbey says Mo's disallowed goal broke my heart. I think it broke a lot of people's heart because it was such a good goal. Doug says that could be a huge win. I was so impressed with Fabinho, never a penalty. Also Jota, what a signing and a bargain he's going to turn out to be. Jota is like pressing machine too. Yeah, absolutely. I especially think that new system in the second half worked very well. I know first half it wasn't, the best, but I think the lads were like trying to get used to it for sure. But Doug says Sheffield United played really well tonight. Yeah, they did. To be fair, Kale says, what was the problem with the penalty? I think we've just discussed over that. Doug says made up for Bobby to score too. Yeah, that's true. Bobby getting, well, I think hate is a strong word, but he has been given a lot of hate over the last couple of weeks. Mickey, how good would this be now for Bobby's confidence? For the rest of the season, getting a goal again at Anfield.
He needs something, because he does look 2 seconds off what he was pre-lockdown. Pre-lockdown, he was 2 seconds ahead, weren't he? He was bum. He just hasn't come back from lockdown in the best of form, let's just say. But the only way to play yourself into form is sometimes a goal just suddenly changes how you play for the rest of the time. Let's just hope this boosts him, gets him going, gets him back to how he was before. Listen, class is always permanent, form is temporary. So we know this. Bobby's a great player, but we all have called him out saying at the moment, should he be playing? Does he need to rest? But he now knows he's got competition. He's got to start kicking the goals in, because Jota's looking the real deal.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that, he's got Jota, he's got Kirby Minamino as well. Whenever he's given the chance, he's right up there. So, yeah, Bobby does need to maybe start, getting back to the Bobby we all love and know. But Chris says it wasn't a foul and tackle was outside the box. Yeah, I think we agree with that. Seamerson says lovely goal by Jota. It was a fantastic goal by Diogo Jota. It was, yeah, and it was, what was it, like a minute and a half after the Mo Salah offside one. So yeah, kind of a good rebound goal then, realistically, but it still would have been nice for Mo to finish that off anyway. Chris says agreed about Gomez. Chris, man of the match for me too. Doug says someone said on Twitter after the West Ham Man City game, nice to see VAR not being involved in the games. Yeah, look, I think if VAR is not being used as much, in games, then games are more enjoyable. I think people, if you look back at the Man City Leeds game, where VAR wasn't involved at all, I don't think very much in that game. Everyone talks about it being, probably one of the games of one of the best draws in Premier League history, let alone, probably one of the best games this season anyway. But let's move away then from VAR stuff and that, Mickey. I know that if I quickly show on screen right now, this was the starting 11 lineup today. As you can see, that man was back. Alisson Becker is back. Fantastic for him to be back. And of course, we did start with Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Gomez, Robertson, Henderson, Wijnaldum, and then of course the fabulous four that they've already been called on Twitter, and I think that's may stick in the next couple of weeks. But Jota, Mane, Salah, and Firmino. But Mickey, I know that. I said this to Doug on the match preview show yesterday, and how good it is having Alisson back, a month, early, because realistically, I think before the Merseyside derby, I think people were saying, maybe late October, maybe going into November. We are going a bit later on, but to have him back so quick, and now he can probably play against Midtjylland as well. How important is it to have him, especially with Van Dijk's injury as well?
Well, it's really important that we got him back, because missing him and Van Dijk is a big miss for any side, in history. Two of your best players out at the same time wouldn't be good. So, listen, Van Dijk's injury, it's football, it happens. We've got to get used to it. We ain't going to see him for a year. New heroes will come in. Fabinho's slotted into the back four like he's been there forever and looks as good as anything we've had before. I agree that Gomez played well, but my man of the match today was Trent. I thought Trent defended well, and I thought he went forward brilliantly as well. And that cheeky free kick that nearly scored, wow. If that had gone in, it would have been wow.
Yeah, well, I was gutted when freaking Ramsdale saved it. I was like, why couldn't it just gone in? That would have been so nice. Because it was about 60 yards out, or something like that.
Oh yeah, but when Beckham scores goals like that, it's like the best thing since sliced bread. So let's just think Trent, a local Scouse lad scoring goals like that, it's just unbelievable. And even trying that just shows his class.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug says they jinxed that. I don't know what that's about. I think that's about VAR. Chris says it's gone too far. VAR now needs to be meeting on it to bring foreign referees in our games, and in our VAR or scrap VAR completely getting a joke now. Yeah, I would agree with that. Steven says Gomez proving his doubt is wrong. Excellent performance. Yeah, look, Joe Gomez, he's had two excellent performances now, alongside Fabinho, and I think now, for me personally, that is now the partnership for the season. And until January, and until we sign a possible replacement for Virgil van Dijk. And I'll ask you this, Mickey, would you agree with that in the sense that, Fabinho now should stay at centre-back for the season until a replacement is going to be coming in? It looks like, as far as, James Pearce, I think, said on some podcast somewhere over the last couple of days that the main two Liverpool are looking at is Diop Upamecano and Ozan Kabak from Schalke. Do you think that either one of them will come in January, and then do you think that Fabinho will stay at centre back alongside Joe Gomez?
I've got a funny feeling we could end up with Conor Cody.
Okay.
I think that's going to happen. We've got a good relationship with Wolves already, which we have. I don't think Wolves could, if we put a good bid in, I don't think Wolves could resist with the loss in money that's around it for everyone. I think any decent bid of 25 million for Conor Cody would come in. I think Conor Cody would be a local lad, loves the club, played for us before. He's turned into a really good Premiership defender, and that's all we need at the moment, because Van Dijk is going to come back. Yeah. So we don't need Kalidou Koulibaly. I know I want Kalidou Koulibaly. We don't need Kabak. We don't need these. We just need someone that can sit in, do a great job alongside Gomez, allow Fabinho to go back into midfield, because that's where he thrives, midfield, sitting in front of the front four. Back four, sorry, not front four. I'm getting confused because we played the front four today. I can't remember the last time we ever did that. No, but I honestly do. He would be good. The two lads, they're a risk. They're not played in the Premiership before. To me, they're the kind of summer signings that you bed into pre-season. January signings, you need ready, sure players ready to go.
To be fair, now you said Connor Cody, that's actually got my mind thinking now. I think Connor Cody could be a fantastic signing for Liverpool. But I want up a Meccano.
He's not the world's best defender, but he's going to be good enough to do us a job until Van Dijk's back. And then it's up to Van Dijk will come back, struggle for 3 or 4 games. Once he gets back his fitness, back to his old self. And then it's down to the others to fight for the place. And Connor Cody would just add more. Because I think Matip's finished. Matip's chance was now. And then now he's injured for 6 weeks again. Plays 1 game and he's out for
out for a very long time. Well, I think. The rumor is at the minute he was either going to be back for this game or Midtjylland, which it is going to be hard now to tell with Matip, because for me, when he plays, he is one of the best centre backs in the Premier League. But that is the question: how many times is he going to play for Liverpool this season? And it could be once in every 5 games, once in every 6 games. It's just not good enough for Liverpool, realistically, because Fabinho could easily get injured, Joe Gomez could easily get injured, and then we are literally down to no centre-backs at the club. We'd end up playing, James Milner and Fabinho at centre-back?
Or Billy Ladd.
or Billy Ladd. To be fair, though, I know that a couple of people have mentioned Reece Williams, him maybe getting an opportunity as well. Do you think he'll feature for Liverpool this year? Do you think that he could get Premier League game time at least, or do you think he'll be safe for the FA Cup?
There's a chance that any of them can get in. Let's be honest now. The squad at the back is thin. No Lovren. Matip's always injured. Van Dijk's out for a year. We are down to the bare bones. We're using a midfielder in there, so these lads are going to get their chance. I mean, it might take them playing a couple of FA Cup games, and then Klopp says, "Oh, I'm quite impressed with him. Let's try him in the Premier League." Nathaniel Phillips as well. He's another one that's around. There's quite a few. There's quite a few in the under-23s, and you don't know till you try them. You don't know till you try them. And listen, we're not going to be the team that only lets in 15 goals a season like we have been. We're going to let in more goals. We need to get back to our old self. Make sure we score enough. Yeah, clean sheets will be hard to come by now.
Yeah, I think clean sheets is the main priority now. As we've got Midtjylland coming in on Tuesday now. Then we've got West Ham, I think. So, and I know West Ham, of course, getting great results against Tottenham and Manchester City. But I think if we was to get, even a 2-0 win against them, I think that would issue out a statement to the rest of the Premier League in saying, look, Liverpool have been hurt over the last couple of weeks, with the likes of Van Dijk getting injured and that. But now, if we were to have that, then we would be, so, crucial. And so, we can go forward now and try and, challenge for the title. Well, I say challenge, go on and win it then practically as well. But I can see one little man in the corner, and I didn't know he was joining. But hello, Jack. How are you?
Hello. Sorry, I've only just seen. I was obviously doing my show, but hello. I thought I'd go online.
Top of the morning to you.
I was watching anyway, doing a fantastic job. Well, get in, everyone.
To be fair, you always go live the same time as we. I was saying this to Mickey.
We really should be communicating a lot better.
But no, it is fine anyway. But Doug says FVAR quite a lot. I know a couple of people will like that as well. Chris says our referees know nothing about football. I would agree with that. Kale says, did Mourinho mock Liverpool? Probably one day he did, somewhere down the line. Genie says, Doug, calm down. Absolutely, Doug, please calm down. Jeannie says, Mickey is right. It's not the technology, it's the quality of the officials. I would agree with that. And
shocking.
Of course, Mickey already said it. Jack, obviously you were watching the show, a little bit before you come on, and that. Would you agree with Mickey in the sense of bringing in foreign officials to, referee Premier League matches and, take control potentially of VAR as well?
Yeah, I'd absolutely love that, mate. And I think when I'm speaking to you and everyone, when I'm speaking to a couple of lads off yesterday, a couple of mates, a couple of Everton fans as well, why is it that like, was it Clattenburg or that went to the Chinese league or something? What was his name? Is it Clattenburg that went to China?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. As Mickey said, and you mentioned tonight, we've got to be paying. We're meant to have the best league in the world, so you've got to have the best officials. If it means paying a bit more money from the FA to get them to the league, then fair play. We want a better standard of refereeing. It's an absolute joke. And tonight, and I was trying to when I was on live and when I was watching the show, I don't think he felt it was appendages. For me, I didn't think it was a pen, but that's probably me being biased.
Never a pen.
It was never a penalty.
Listen, why did not VAR look at Maguire manhandling in the box today? That's what VAR is meant to look at, stuff like that. If that had been the other way round, it'd have been a penalty and Fernandes would have scored. I'll guarantee you. I don't get it.
He had him in a chokehold, didn't he?
Chokehold? Hulk Hogan would have been proud of that, bro.
Freak it up. But to be fair, now, I must have, like, all of you must be like birds and I must have, like, food or something because Doug's here now. Hello, Doug. Everyone's here.
Bonjour, Doug.
Well, honestly, I thought when Jack arrived, I thought there's only one thing to do and basically come on, and the Fab Four are here. So there you go. Yeah,
we're better than the front four from Liverpool.
Yeah,
absolutely. But who are we? Let's put it that way.
Right. You get one. I'll go around. Right. I say go around. Right. So I'll go from first to last. Who was here? Right. Mickey, you can pick which one of the front four you picking out. Who are you?
Who am I picking out tonight? Salah.
Right. So Mickey, Salah. Jack, who are you?
Whoever the smallest is.
Jota.
Jota, probably. Yeah.
I'll pick Sadio Mane, and then Doug can have Bobby Firmino. I'll allow Doug Bobby Firmino. But yeah, Jesus Christ, guys, if you've got any questions for us, or we'll chat a bit more about the Sheffield game, then please leave them in the comment section down below. Anyway, but what else have we got? Chris says it's always been the officials since VAR come into this country. Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Patesh says VAR is fine. It's the twats that operate it, and I feel that the VAR officials try to defend the on-field ref. Look, at the minute, it's the on-field and off the field referees that are just stupid. Kale goes, I think that's Ajax 13-0. Yeah, they did win 13-0 today. But they couldn't score one against us, so that's all I care about. Realistically, I think that's what we should care about as well.
People underestimate that 1-0 win. Ajax are a good side.
They are a very good side.
Well, it's like realistically, with Thiago coming back now, I'll start with Doug with this. With now the likes of Alisson obviously coming back tonight. You've got Thiago probably coming back against Midtjylland. You've got Jota in form. You've got the front three. Does it become now a proper headache for Klopp to think of a team to put out against, or do you think he enjoys thinking about all the different players he could play? Because to be fair, Keita didn't play today. He wasn't even in the squad. So Keita's even one person to come back. So what's your thoughts on that anyway?
I think Klopp likes these headaches, to be honest, and that's why he's Liverpool manager. That's why none of us are Liverpool manager. Because in my opinion, I think he would like to have that headache. In my opinion, I think looking at the team today, I actually reckon that he might go something similar to what he went with today. Because I actually thought that front four worked really, really well. And as I said in my comments, I was very impressed with Diogo Jota. And I said it to you last night as well. I think this guy is going to be an absolute bargain of the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So Club has asked, is Origi injured? As far as I know, he's not.
He's just crap.
I knew Mickey would come out with something like that.
Sorry, everyone, open your eyes. He's not good enough.
Mickey, I actually wonder if he's maybe out of favour because now we've got Minamino, now
He's
we've
got
got
to be.
Shaqiri. I just think there's no room for him on that bench now, and I think we could potentially see him move on in January, possibly.
Yeah. Good evening, Jack.
I thought I'd add that in.
I agree with Doug. He's out of favour because he's not better than the players that we've got now.
Yeah.
And listen, he's going to be a cult hero. He'll forever be thankful for what he's done in the past. He missed an opportunity to go somewhere else in the summer because I do now believe that he won't get any game time unless it's the FA Cup.
Interesting. Very well. Saying that, man, like like we've all said about Mo Salah tonight and that, and like him unfortunately not getting that amazing goal and that. Jack, would you rest Salah against Midtjylland maybe because he's played the most out of everyone in the Liverpool squad so far? Or do you think maybe keep him in the team and just keep on getting the best out of Mo Salah?
Play him. He'd be hard pressed, really. I reckon he's himself. He'll wanna. It annoyed me that he didn't square it tonight. Tell me that if Sheffield United went up the other end and scored and equalised, then there would have been a lot of unhappy Liverpool fans tonight. I'll tell you that now because you only have to square it. But yeah, definitely, he's a player that wants to play football games. And if Klopp turned around and said, "No, you're not playing," I don't think he'd be very happy. He probably will kick off himself because that's what type of player he is. But yeah, I'd hope we play a strong team. We need to make sure that we're qualified as quick as possible in the Champions League, and then we can rest players. So I've just go out there. No, just go to Midtjylland, but we should be winning. But just play our best squad, mate. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I think every like you said, I think everyone wants to at least qualify, for the next round of the Champions League. Maybe 2 games or so beforehand. Instead of trying to qualify on the last game anyway. But so Klopp says, Conor Cody wouldn't leave Wolves mid-season. He's the captain of Wolves, and while he's a diehard Red, he'll show enough respect to Wolves to finish the season before any potential move. I think that is true in the sense, but I still, as Mickey is showing, but I think if the money is correct, then I do think that it will. I think Wolves would sell instantly. In my personal opinion,
you might have a problem there if Conor Cody does sign, though. Connor, you would have 4 Liverpool players in your fantasy football team, and you're only allowed 3.
For God's sake!
I've seen what you did there, Doug. I've seen what you did there, Doug. You called him Connor. You know he's Connor.
Off the fancy league, but do you want me to tell you why Salah will play on Tuesday?
Go.
Because whoever scores Liverpool's first goal will score Liverpool's 10,000th goal.
Oh, wow.
So today, if Salah had scored, Jota would have scored the 10,000th goal. But obviously, Salah's beautiful goal was knocked off by being that far offside, as I've said before, which is a joke, right? But we all know this.
That'll be like the tagline to your next preview, Connor. Who will score the 10,000th Liverpool goal? We're stuck on 9,990.
I'm already getting that. I'm already having that title. If anyone else nicks it, then I'm copywriting it.
Yeah.
And
was you all aware of that, by the way? Was you all aware of that?
No.
So it's Liverpool's 10,000th goal in history, and I'd love it to be Mo Salah, being as though at the moment, game for game, he's been our most prolific striker. Yeah. Not in the amount of goals, but in the amount of goals to game. So it would be nice for it to go to Mo Salah, and he might get some more golden boots from Adidas for that. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. Right. I'll ask this, and chat. I want you to answer this as well, and I will read out all your comments anyway. But I'll ask Mickey. Not Mickey. Sorry. I'll ask because I think Mickey answered it there. I'll ask Jack and Doug. I'll start with Doug first. Will Mo Salah win the golden boot this season? And if not, who will?
I think I said to you a couple of weeks ago, I think it's between Salah and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But I'm going to say he pips Calvert-Lewin. because he's so important to our team. If Calvert-Lewin gets injured, then I think Everton really lack a striker. You saw from like last season when Calvert-Lewin wasn't, when he wasn't playing, like Moise Kean came in. You know, there's it's chalk and cheese between Moise Kean and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So I'm going to say he pips Dominic Calvert-Lewin to win the Golden Boot, because Aguero's now out again for, like, everyone said at the start of the season, like, Aguero might be one of those strikers to get the Golden Boot, but apparently from what I'm hearing, it's a hamstring injury for Aguero, so that could mean he could potentially be out of the Liverpool game on the 7th of November.
Well, that leaves now what Man City again looking at what
Liam Delap.
Yeah, Delap's son again, because Gabriel Jesus is injured again. But Jack, I'll ask you the same question: will Mo Salah get the Golden Boot, or do you agree with Doug that if not Mo Salah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be stiff competition for him this year?
Yeah, just I didn't even know Roy Delap's allowed a son. I honestly go for that. Where is he? Is he at City or is he in the academy?
Yeah,
he scored a few goals this season.
Yeah, he's City's third striker.
Is he? No wonder they're getting him. Do you see City next season lobbing the ball into the 6-yard box on the halfway line with him?
I think he's a little bit better than his dad, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm hoping Salah does win the Golden Boot, mate, but I'm hoping Mane for a season. I know he won it 2 seasons back in the last season anyway, but I'd love it I tell you, I'd love Bobby Firmino to score it, but I don't think he's getting 30 plus goals in a season. But Salah, if he continues to keep on hitting the post, I'll be very disappointed. How he hit the post tonight, I don't know. Like, he put it in the one place you don't. I'm not a professional striker, but like you ain't for the other side of the goal, wouldn't you? I was like, when I seen the highlights tonight after the game, I heard on the commentary tonight, and I was like, the commentator was going, he's hit the post, right, in new achievement, but yeah.
It's like when you red time it on FIFA. Just for some reason it goes to the post anyway. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments anyway. Downton says, I totally forgot Matip was still with us. Fair enough. Chris says, Weetabix is more available than Joel Matip. Unfortunately, I love Matip, but I agree with Mickey. I think he's done. Diego's in as well. How are you, Diego? Hopefully having a fantastic day, mate. Let me scroll down because there's a load of comments. Jeannie says, evening to Diego as well. So Klopp says, I fear Matip may retire within the next couple of years, which is a real shame because I consider him in the top 5 centre-backs in the Premier League when fit. I would agree with that. I did say that I think he is probably, definitely in the top 5 of the Premier League when he is fit anyway, but that does depend when he is fit anyway. The brutal reality is the injuries are piling up on us now, and he has to be replaced next summer. And Lovren hasn't been replaced yet neither. I'll go around each and every single one of them. I know Mickey has said Connor Cody for January. Jack, with the names that's been mentioned, who would you want as a backup for Virgil van Dijk anyway? Because that's I think realistically, the thing, isn't it? It's like, who's going to come in and try and help the defense. But yeah, who would you like out of all the guys that's been mentioned?
As you mentioned, Upamecano, I think I'm a big fan of. Due to the buyout clause, and he wouldn't be as much. I like the idea of Connor Cody, that Mickey said as well. It's a fairy tale signing and coming back to Liverpool. That'd be lovely for him. But and Carragher, get him on Sky anyway. It's a good banter. I love the way all the Wolves fans lost their heads off after that Sky interview. It's just mates. You can tell they're good mates anyway off camera. But Wolves fans got a bit triggered with the option. But yeah, Upamecano, if that's what I name it. I know I've said Koulibaly over the last couple of years anyway that I'd love to see him. But in terms of a financial sense, no, it's too much for the amount of money. And yeah, Upamecano, if you can get it for 40, 50 million buyout, I think that'd be very good, shrewd business. And I'm gutted about Joel Matip as well. Absolutely gutted.
Yeah, definitely. I think Doug really wants Koulibaly. I think Koulibaly is definitely on Doug's list, so we don't need to go to Doug whatsoever in many respects. But I'm kidding. I know that I think it was a couple of months ago, wasn't it? I think we were talking about centre halves or transfers, and I think Mickey and Doug was on, and we had I think about a 15-20 minute debate about Koulibaly and Liverpool. Anyway, but Doug, I'll ask you the same question. Who would you have to come in January anyway?
Definitely not Koulibaly. I'll say that now.
You sure?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I've been saying for like ages that the Koulibaly rumors are like back and they're absolutely rubbish anyway. I'm with Jack. I like Upamecano. I think he's been fantastic for Leipzig. And if you look at the like France squad, I mean, he's almost sort of first choice for France as well. So I would say Upamecano, and then probably followed by maybe Kabak as well. I know he's been linked as well, but I believe he might be going to AC Milan if rumours are to be believed in January or something. So because they're back in for centre back. So, but for me, I would say Upamecano.
Jack, what was you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say he makes sense because if anyone's seen RB Leipzig, I watched a couple of them when we were in Europe last season. Leipzig play with a high line, and I think of Liverpool, what's been doing this season, Upamecano, he's got excellent recovery pace. And if you had, say, in about 5 years' time, Gomez and Upamecano, two very rapid centre-backs, obviously after Virgil retires, I think he'd very much suit the style of... He's a ball-playing centre-back as well, but for the recovery pace, Liverpool now, we're having to look at pacey centre-backs just because if Liverpool are going to go forward in the future, continuing to play a high line. I know we didn't tonight, but for games that really demand Liverpool to press and really push on. And a centre-back has got to be very pacey, and firstly, a good defender, most importantly, but secondly, he's got to be rapid, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I would agree. I think Upamecano would be the player to get, especially for the rumoured price tag anyway. But
and to snatch him from Manchester United would just be fantastic.
Well, I don't think these players are realistic January boys. I think they're more summer boys. You got to look at the January market. It's a different market. Leipzig are not going to sell us one of their players if they're still in the Champions League.
No, I think he's your buyout,
Yeah, he's got.
But they've got clauses in, and then buyouts could be for summer windows only. We don't know, do we?
So apparently the rumour is at the minute the 40 million euro release clause activates I think 1st of July and that. But then I think they are willing to listen at offers over 50 million euros. So it is one of these things in it. But I agree, it is going to be hard to get him in January. But I think if he's the right player and Klopp wants him, he'll get him either way. Look at Thiago, look at Jota, look at Virgil van Dijk. We got in January as well. So the option is there. But I would agree, it is going to be tough if Leipzig want to make it tough for Liverpool anyway in that respect anyway. But that's really a few more comments anyway. Jeannie says Team Doug then. I don't know what that's for. Kale asks Harry Wilson to Burnley. Nope. You've gone to Cardiff. Mark says Elliott scored today. Yes, he did. Harvey Elliott did score
goal and assist, didn't he?
Yeah, he did get a goal and an assist. So I know Mickey is Harvey Elliott is a young Jedi to Mickey, and Mickey is watching over him like a Jedi Master. So, Mickey, where's that lightsaber?
Actually.
Oh wait, is he? Oh, that's close. Fair play. To be fair, that is quite good. So Klopp says Wilson is on loan to Cardiff. Yeah, he is. Unbearables is in as well. How are you, Unbearables? Hopefully having a fantastic day, mate. Genie with the wave then to Unbearables. Diego says, Daily Mirror, breaking news 30 minutes ago. Liverpool open talks with Schalke over Ozil Kabak, 20 million confirmed. I don't believe it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Diego, that's the Daily Mirror you're talking about. It's probably as reliable as a chocolate teapot.
There you go. So Klopp says, unpopular opinion, but Origi is better than Minamino in the 9. And if we, Mickey's reaction, and if we continue playing 4-2-3-1, then he's second choice minimum, and to whoever is playing centre forward.
Right. World class is there. Minamino's there, and Origi's down here.
Do you know the scene in Men in Black when they put the glasses on and they've got that thing, the pen. I'm just gonna press that right now. Take that back. Minamino is 10 times the player that Origi wants to be.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to have any arguments in my chat tonight. So, sure, why not? Even though Minamino is better than I think than Divock Origi, unless you're playing Barcelona in the Champions League and want to destroy everything Lionel Messi said 12 months ago. So either way,
if you're getting beaten, you need to win it, and it's in the Champions League or in the Prem late stages, then there's only one person you want in that squad, and that's Divock Origi, because you're always a man for the big occasions. So for the next couple of finals, we go to Origi on the bench, come on, and then scores the winner. Happy days.
Yeah, absolutely. Vera says Son will win the Golden Boot. Being a fan of his for a few years,
he's going to be up there.
He is going to be up there for sure. Domestic Butler's in as well. How are you, Domestic? Hopefully, you're on a fantastic day, mate.
We can't count out Vardy either.
No. So realistically, who are we counting? Salah, Mane, Vardy, Aubameyang, Son, Kane.
DCL.
Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I'm going to say this. You'll probably be uproar. It's a Man U player. I think Rashford's going to score 20 goals this season.
Maybe.
I think he would actually play very well.
Probably more Martial, in my opinion.
Well, Martial scored more own goals than goals this year. And that was the best own goal I've ever seen.
So that's 9 players at the minute that's currently on my hands that it could be up for the Golden Boot.
So are we literally ruling out every Manchester City player then?
Striker-wise, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And realistically, the only person that could get close to that is what, Sterling?
No. Did you see his miss today?
No.
Jack was that disgusted with that he left.
Jack left. I said Sterling, and he was like, "I'm off."
He was one-on-one. He was one-on-one with Fabianski, and he completely missed it.
Oh fucking hell, man! Oh. I love it when we're in a chat together. It's fucking brilliant. But yeah, I've got 9. So 9 players then could be up for the Golden Boot. It could be frigging 15 the way the Premier League's going at the minute. It could be frigging Patrick Bamford. Bamford's got a hat trick against Villa. He's in the Golden Boot race.
I never even thought of him.
He's in my dream team.
Now rub it
in. Mickey, stop it. I have to separate you guys now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where we by? Chris says, just win the league. That's all I care about. I don't care about individual awards. Look, at the end of the day, I think that's the same with all of us. I think we all care about the league, but it would be nice if Mo and others as well could win Golden Boot, especially if Ali could get a Golden Glove. That would be good because of course, he lost it last year by 1 anyway. Jeannie says, if Sadio stays fit, Salah have a good chance. with the Golden Boot. Anyway, so Klopp says, if an LFC player doesn't get it, I hope Son does, but I think it will be between Salah and Kane come May. Yeah, very interesting. Kent saying, how are you, Kent? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, mate. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, mate. And he also said, no to Cody. Anyway, so yeah, interesting. Genie goes, Upamecano is a good young player. Yeah, he is. I think he's only, 21, I think, at the minute. So still plenty of time to learn. Anyway, Kent says hi again. Chris says, if we did sign up Upamecano, let's hope he's not like the last French defender we had, Sakho. Yes. The great old Mahamadou Sakho. And to be fair, now we've talked away from Raheem Sterling. Jack Mack is back, but I think he's trying to sort something out. So we'll let him finish what he's doing for a minute, and we'll get him back on then. Seema says, going for a centre back in January will be big money. Yeah, absolutely. It probably will be. And then Diego says, okay, Doug, with a whiskey and a slap face as well. But
sorry, Diego. I don't read newspapers, and especially when it's Daily Mirror or that paper that we do not mention in Liverpool. And actually, let me just say about Sakho. This is for the Liverpool country. I remember that saying after the Dortmund game. So funny. He was a character, but yeah, just we obviously don't know what actually happened behind the scenes with him. But yeah, it was a pity he left. But I think he left right. Yeah, I think he left at the right time, to be honest.
Maybe him and Kleiny had a few lines together.
Yeah,
maybe they're in class together. Maybe having a couple of lines.
Him and Kleiny were partying, bro, and because remember he got done for drugs, and in the end it turned out to be cocaine, didn't it? So
yeah, very interesting. But like we've kind of not really talking about. Well, we have talking a bit about the game and that, but realistically, Liverpool won, got 3 points, and we're currently second in the Premier League table. But I want to talk about this man, the man that got the winning goal, of course, and that was Diogo Jota as well. I know that Doug has said that he's probably going to be one of the best, if not the best, bargain transfers. I'm going to be a very good Liverpool player in the future. If I'll ask Jack this first, and I'll go around in that. But if, for example, Bobby Firmino, doesn't do well in the false nine anymore, and like Klopp does stick to this, new system of 4-2-3-1. Do you think that Jota will be a nail-on starter for Liverpool over the next couple of months?
Definitely. I think tonight was a massive indication to the way in which I think Klopp wants to play. I think off the back of obviously how bad defensively we started this season, it gives Liverpool a lot of defensive solidity, really, and a lot of protection, because you need that. I think any club, City missed it with Laporte last season. Good centre-backs, your best centre-back, anyone would miss them. And I think Jota, how versatile our forward line is. I think Jota played striker if he wanted. Bobby, obviously Mane or Salah. The adaptability of them, but Jota, what a signing. And I think it's another Jurgen Klopp and Michael Edwards masterstroke, because I think none of us heard of this. Like I was made up that because when we've played Wolves, he's always been an absolute nightmare to play against. And when he scored last season against at Anfield, I can remember it as clear as day, Mickey. He ran to the stand, didn't he? To one of the stands in Liverpool. Like, he was offside, but he's a bit of a nasty person, nasty character, but you need that. You need to be hard to play against him. And the way he triggered, I can remember that he triggered us all when he ran to, I think it was the Kenny stand, and he slid on his knees and it got disallowed, which was lovely.
Was it Jota or was it Johnny that did
that? Was it Johnny or?
It was Neto.
Oh, was it Neto? Oh,
was
yeah.
Neto?
Yeah. Oh, Neto, yeah. But he probably slid in behind.
He joined in either way.
Yeah. But yeah, fantastic sign. Made up. We've got.
Doug, I know you're a huge fan of Jota, and it's like Jack said, it was out of the blue, wasn't it, when we signed him and that. But especially in the first half, he wasn't playing all too well. I think the Liverpool squad in general wasn't playing all too well in the first half as well. Of course, getting used to this new system and that. But, what a difference he made in the second half. Getting the goal, his closing down, his work rate as well. I think he will become a success at Liverpool for sure. Do you agree as well? From what Jack has also had to say as well.
I was absolutely over the moon when I heard we were in for him, because as Jack said, he is an absolute pest. Whenever Wolves played us, he was an absolute pest. I mean, him and Jimenez made a very, very good partnership. We all saw that last season. And I remember his hat trick against Leicester. Don't remember that as well. Like, he scored in the very, very last minute to score a hat trick against Leicester City, and from then on, I was a big, big fan. And ever since he's come into the Premier League, he's been absolutely fantastic. So, made up for him to score tonight. It was a very, very classy header, a great cross from Sadio Mane, and a fantastic header from Jota. And do you know what? If we're going to be successful this season, we are going to need those moments where, if a Mane or a Salah doesn't score, Jota will be there. He is a goal scorer, and he is a pressing machine. Honestly, this guy is going to be absolutely fantastic, and I think he may start against Midtjylland. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. And Mickey, I'll get your thoughts as well, but a lot of people, when we were hearing about Jota going to sign for Liverpool and that, a lot of people said he was two-footed and very good on both of his feet. So the one question I'll ask Mickey, right, where we know, what are we, the 5th game into the season, and that, which foot will he score the most goals from, the left or the right? Because I think Wolves fans...
I don't care as long as he scores.
I know that, but the Wolves fans, I think even they were having bets with themselves, how many goals he would score with one foot. Because I think he scored, it was not the last season, the season before, I think he scored something like 10 goals with his right and 10 goals with his left, or something crazy like that. So it just shows, how...
Something like that. But yeah, he can score with his left, he can score with his right. It just doesn't matter how it goes in, as long as he scores goals, it just puts him up the scoring chart.
Scores with his head as well.
Score with his armpit, or any part of your body if you want to get creative with goals.
don't mention armpits, and we've been talking about VAR, Jack. Do not be talking about that. But
see you next week. Yeah, score.
But Mickey, what's your thoughts on Jota anyway?
So the guy's been around. He's played for Atletico Madrid. He's played for Porto.
Yeah.
He did a real fantastic first season at Wolves. He was their top scorer. He may have even been the Championship top scorer, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
I think he was. So at a lower level and at Atletico Madrid and Porto, he scored goals. Yeah. He's been around. He's then scoring goals in the Premier League, and 16 goals is not bad. And in a team that's doing well for 2 seasons. Yeah. A team that realistically could have gone on and been better, but he's decided to move to Liverpool now. Apparently Klopp's been watching him since he was Atletico. From what I'm hearing, he's the reason we pulled out the Werner deal, because we thought we could get better value for money from Jota. So at the time we were all, what? Are we mad? Who's the better player now?
Yeah,
have you watched him in the Premier League? Who's the better player now?
Jota.
And he's proven as well.
So Werner isn't Premier League proven, and we all know. We all would have been over the moon, but if he'd played like this, we all would have been going, what we got here? You know what I mean? He's been terrible.
Yeah.
He's been terrible. And Havertz has been terrible as well.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, you look at it at the minute, I think Werner's got 1 goal, Jota's got 2. So
value for money there. Value for money.
But going on to my thoughts on what I thought when we realised we were signing him, I remember messaging you guys on Skype. Oh my God, we're getting Jota. That will be a great signing. Yeah. He's 23. He's the future. He's got 7 to 10 years left at the top. Yeah. Klopp improves players. And all my thought was, he's good now. how great is he going to be when Klopp's got hold of him and coached him for a couple of years. Don't judge him on this season. Judge him in 3 or 4 seasons' time. Look at Sadio Mane, how he's improved Sadio Mane from... And I think... And you've got to have comparisons because they're the same sort of player.
Yeah.
And Jota can play anywhere in that front three. Left, right, through the middle.
It was the impact as he had midweek, wasn't it? He come on and absolutely done amazing. I think everyone was raving about his performance. To bring on a player of that quality, that's something that we've looked at City the last couple of seasons and went, look who they're bringing on here. And I think Jota is in that category of, as Mickey said, and Duggan, and I've been speaking to every single one of you, I tell you, he is one baller.
Yeah, he is. Well, it's like you said, you look at Man City and you go, they'll probably play a front three of Aguero, Sterling, and Sane at times, a couple of seasons ago, and then they'd end up bringing on, Mahrez and Bernardo Silva and a couple of other good players as well. So it was needed for Liverpool, and I think all of us said at the start of the season, on all of our channels, we talked about the competition between the front three and the rest of the players that could play there was too high. The gap was too high, and Jota now has made that gap very, very small. And Jota's probably, well, I wouldn't say right now he's on the same level, but as Mickey said, maybe in a season's time or 2 seasons' time, maybe he will then be on the front three's level, because I think all of Jota's stats, anyway, before he signed for Liverpool, were very, very similar to Sadio Mane before he joined Liverpool. So, the path is there, and the pathway is there for Jota to become great under Klopp and that. And let's not forget as well, Pep Linders was a huge factor in getting Jota because of his Portuguese roots and that. So, it's fantastic that he's having some insight into transfers and that, because I know we've spoken on all of our channels talking about who's going to be the next manager at Liverpool. I know that we've all had arguments about that and that, and debates about it. But for me, I think Pep Linders is the perfect guy for it. I think I think it's going to be like Bill Shankly and Bob Paisley. It's going to be handing down the keys down to Pep Linders, and I think Pep Linders is going to walk into the job and just flourish from straight away. Well, hopefully anyway, and hopefully that is the case anyway. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Unbearable says West Ham should be an interesting match or game, about another 3 points, fingers crossed. Jeannie says shout out to Clyde, made his first start for Palace. Yeah, of course, now he is now signed to Crystal Palace as well, was the sniff as well.
So then Robbie Fowler's celebration about it.
Chris has gone Diogo Jota. So that is a good one. Diego's gone. Thanks, Jeannie. Yes, Klein did very well for us. I rate and like him, but a lot of Palace fans don't. I think that was the same with Liverpool. I think a lot of people loved Klein, and then there was the certain odd that just didn't like him.
He was a boss player, wasn't he? He was a fantastic player. We've had ways right backs. I mean, that's been said anyway. But when I think it was last season or season before, when he come back from injury and played against United, and he played very well. He'll be very suited of Crystal Palace. I tell you, if he gets his head down and produces, it'll be a fantastic replacement for Wan-Bissaka. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris says I said sign Jota instead of Sarr because I don't want another player from Africa because Africa Cup of Nations. Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've got the best Portuguese player in the Portugal side instead of Cristiano Ronaldo. So Chris says Jota can score with his head too. Yeah, absolutely. Simon says Jota was a good piece of business. Yeah, he was an absolutely fantastic piece of business. Chris says I Jota feeling Jota going to be a good signing. So Chris is having some fun. But there, Jota will keep
taking a leaf out of my book. Taking a leaf out of my book.
Yeah, and we all know what I want to do with Doug's jokes. I'm joking. Ace has got, all right, lads, how are you, Ace? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, mate. So to end the show then, I'll go around everyone very quickly because my phone's about to die and I don't want to say goodbye to you guys by just, going black screen. So Jack, man of the match for tonight's game.
I've got a couple of lads on that. My lads, you mentioned Gomez, and I think I would agree, but I think for me, basically, from what I heard on the radio and the highlights I've seen after on YouTube, I love Jota, and for his goals made up to for him to get it. He put in an absolute shift as well, and how well he played when he come on that midweek. But tonight, I felt that he was absolutely amazing, by all accounts. Never stopped running, and to get his goal, it will give him a lot of confidence going into the future. And I can't wait to see more of him play.
Yeah, definitely. Mickey, your man of the match for the game?
I'm going to go for a forward, and I thought he played really well today. I thought he was crucifying him in the second half. He scored a beautiful goal, had it disallowed, and only hit the post. Salah, I thought Salah's back to his best now. He's looking like the Salah that played against Roma, and he's only going to get better. And also as well, can I just say one thing? I need to know in the comments who else paid £15 to watch the match, because I bloody did.
No.
You did?
Yeah. I couldn't miss it, mate. I couldn't.
He's getting banned. I'm kidding. No, look. At the end of the day, it's up to everyone to do.
It was a last-minute decision because I was trying to find a stream, and Sky have got active people taking down streams. I don't know whether you know, IPTV was took down today.
No, I didn't.
You had to VPN it from Belgium if you wanted to watch it. That's how somebody found it. If you were VPNing it from USA or UK or Australia, Sky got it took down.
Wow.
And they're going to aggressively attack the streams that are doing on these blockbuster games for £15. They're going to force you into doing it. Unfortunately, 5 minutes before the start of the match, I couldn't find a stream. That was happening. I read that. I just paid it and sod it.
They definitely will be changing it. I tell you, there will be fans. I know, obviously, with COVID and that, but once everything's safe and proper, I think Sky think that they're getting away with it, but they won't. Once everyone is safe and proper to do so in the future, there will be a massive fan revolution.
This is not Sky. This is not Sky. This is the Premier League.
It's the Premier League.
Because Amazon are getting these, BT are getting these, and Sky getting these. They're only getting £5 per game. The Premier League are getting £10 of it.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. People were paying 100 odd quid plus for television subscriptions, and when you look outside of England, you're paying 15, 10, 20 quid for a month, or even 100 quid for the year.
Well, we'll look at Canada with the Zone. The Zone, you pay £7 a month, and that's for all the football, all the boxing, all the F1 motorsport. Every single sport, £7 per month. And you look at that compared to this country, and you're paying over £100 per month.
It's an absolute disgrace, and today's climate as well. Not everyone can afford it, and I done a donation to the Liverpool food banks because I just listened to it on the radio because Sky and the Prem and everyone, it's just an absolute rip-off. It's absolutely disgraceful. It's mad. I know me and Mickey have gone to the game a couple of times over the years. Anyway, Mickey's got a season ticket and that. But is it the last two games have been on pay-per-view? Is it, Mickey?
Yeah. It was
the last two. That's ridiculous.
But to be honest, Liverpool are at fault as well because Liverpool and Manchester United are the ones that put this forward. You do know this, and we are also the two that put forward changing the Premier League, and we're also well in with FIFA in this new European League, which is going to happen, by the way.
Well, the only team that went against the the whole £15 thing, which fair play to them, was Leicester City. All the rest of the Premier League agreed to it, apart from Leicester City. So fair play to them. But bit quickly, Doug, your man of the match for the game anyway, very quickly.
I'm with Mickey. Salah, thought he was fantastic tonight. I really was really wanting to score. That goal that was ruled out offside, I was so gutted when it was just marginal. But what a finish! What a finish that was! And yes, he hit the post, but his all-round play tonight. I think we've now got the Salah that we had a couple of seasons ago. The one that was really hungry. Yes, I know he can be selfish as well. Yes, I know he can be like that. But every good player is like that. And for me, Salah was fantastic tonight. So unlucky not to be on the score sheet again. But yeah, for me, Salah.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll quickly read out all of your comments before we head off. For me, my man of the match, Joe Gomez, second great performance in 2 games, and for me, he's absolutely fantastic. And hopefully now this is a sign of things to come, and hopefully now he can become, the solid centre back that we all knew going back, last season anyway. But where were we by? Chris says, of course, copying Doug's jokes. Downton Abbey says, nope, I found a special stream for the match. I think a lot of people did. Jeannie's gone with Gomez. David says, I watched it on Vola, no problem. Jeannie says, be in sport. Chris says, take my advice, next time get £15 of Monopoly money and go to the Premier League and shove it up their backside. That's what I say. Yeah, I would agree.
I fully agree with that, Chris.
And then the last comment of the video then, Chris says, take care, lads, up the Reds. Yeah, up the bloody Reds, getting 3 points against Sheffield United and taking us now second in the Premier League anyway. But ask Mickey. Mickey, where can we find you on the socials, mate?
You can find me on mfries50 on Twitter or Mickey Fries on Facebook. And I've also currently got a YouTube channel, which is currently suspended at the moment because I'm trying to get myself all the equipment and gear to make it a bit more better and proper. I have spent quite a few quid the last few weeks. And as you can see, I'm doing this room up as I speak. I'm getting some soundboards to put on the wall tomorrow. So I've got a few days off now, and I'm going to get it all up and ready, and I'm going to be doing live shows from it.
I'll give you a hand with that, Mickey, as well, anyway. So,
we'll all chip in and give a hand. And everyone, please go and subscribe to Planet LFC. It might be under suspension at the minute, but still, please go and give it a subscribe.
Self-suspension, but there's all my set up so far with it already.
Oh, there we go then.
Ready to stream from there.
Oh, there we go. Doug, where can we find you on the socials, mate?
You can find me at the Dugout Football channel. You can find me on Twitter at nrod_1992. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horn. And you can also find me on Facebook, Douglas James Horn. But no, thanks for having me on again. A bit impromptu, but at least it didn't sound like a Dalek this time.
True. That is very true, unlike last night. But Jack, thanks for coming on, mate. Where can we find you on the socials?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for allowing us and not keeping us backstage anyway. I have to come on anyway because I was made up. Thank you for having me on, mate. And Jack is Jack Mac LFC, everyone. But yeah, thank you as always, mate, for having us on. And I think if he's a free, I think I'll try and make sure to get a couple of every single one of these on the channel anyway. So I'll try and do a live stream with you tomorrow if he's a free. But Reds, yeah, all keep safe and well. Look after each other. And as Mickey says, and Doug and Connor says, we're second in the league, 13 points and 62 points today, which is absolutely fantastic. So did Chelsea and United, which was lovely. And it's better. And it's boss when the Reds get all 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, all three of you, for coming on for a laugh. And we've all had a fair old laugh in tonight's stream anyway. But guys, if you could do me the massive favour and please give the video a like, massively appreciate it if you could do so. Also as well, please subscribe if you are new to the Cop Council. And please make sure to go and subscribe to the other guys as well. All the links will be in the video description down below. But until next time, guys, that is going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. And we will see you all later on. Tra Reds.